What's up, everybody? Chadman here. So I'm just going to give a quick disclaimer, get something off my chest. You're going to notice that today's episode, my voice is kind of echoey, like I'm in a cave or I'm far away. And that's because my microphone wasn't even fucking plugged in. You know, usually we go into this, and every time we record an episode, I'll, check sound levels, check mics, make sure all the audio is good to go, and make sure everything's straight and ready to rock and roll. I didn't do that today. We were too anxious to get started and start talking about the Super Bowl and whatnot. And my mic wasn't even on. So I'm sorry, I made a mistake. At least I'm being honest with you guys, right? I mean, how many of you women out there leave the house, maybe without a tampon or without your makeup on or some crazy shit? A lot of guys out there go to the store for the wife for some bread or milk or whatever, forget the list or forget their wallet. We're allowed to make mistakes. Hey, kill me. I'm sorry. It is what it is. Let's talk about our sponsors. Wolf Creek Tattoo and Gallery over off 819 19th Street and Auto Detail Specialist, 2701 Automall Drive. Here's what you do. You go get your car detailed. It's going to take anywhere from 5 hours to maybe even 2 days, depending on what you want to get done. While your car is getting detailed, go get a tattoo. It's an idea. Spend your money. You work hard. It all could end tomorrow. You never know, man. North Korea's launching satellites and shit. You don't know what the hell is going to happen. The Zika virus is coming. We're all going to die. Anyways, man, I made a mistake. I'm sorry. Deal with it. I appreciate it. Please check out our website, chadmanandrandyshow.com. It's just chadmanandrandyshow.com. On that website, you're going to find all the links to our Facebook, Instagram. Our sponsors have their links tied into it. You can click on them. Everything you need to know about us, about the shows, everything's up there. So go check out our new website. It's up and ready. It's rocking and rolling. It's fucking raging. Go hit it. Soon we'll put music on there for you guys, like elevator music or maybe some Metallica or some Kiss or, I don't know, something. All right? Everything's good to go. So sorry about the little mistake. We appreciate all the love. Chadman out.
I got no strings, so I have fun. I'm not tied up to anyone. They got strings, but you can see there are no strings on me.
It's time to start the revolution.
And you the people have the power to create machines, the power to create happiness. You the people have the power to make this life free and beautiful, to make this life a wonderful adventure. Then in the name of democracy, let us use that power. Let us all unite. Let us fight for a new world, a decent world.
If you continue, the responsibility of a country is not in the hands of a privileged few. We are strong and we are free from tyranny as long as each one of us remembers his or her duty as a citizen.
Good morning, good day, good evening. Again, I don't know when you're listening to this podcast. I say that every episode because that's the beauty of listening to a podcast. You don't know when your person is going to be listening to it. You could be listening to it in the morning, on your way to work, during the day, when you're on your break, or when you're at the gym, which if you're at the gym, I don't know why you're listening to a podcast. I can't do that. Or at night, when you're laying in bed, or you're trying to get some alone time. Podcasts are beautiful. You can listen to them whenever you want. It's cool. Anyways, we just had an awesome killer weekend. This was a fucking outstanding weekend from my perspective. I loved it, man. Kings of Carnage, they were on our episode 2 episodes ago. I think that was, episode 8? Episode 8, we had Kings of Carnage on, all military metal bands, some fellow veterans, brothers of mine, good, close friends of mine. They're brothers. Call it what you want. I love them to death, and they're awesome, man. And I think Randy got to see them for the first time. What'd you think?
Dude, it was cool, man. And as cool as the show was, they're just as cool to fucking hang out with. I mean, we hung out all night, shot the shit, whatever. Beers. It was a great night. I mean, the guys are cool as shit. I mean, I'm mad I wasn't here for the interview the other night, and I told them I was sorry when we saw them the other day.
Yeah, they're cool, dude. They're just veterans, man. They're no different. That's what I keep telling all the other vets I come in contact with at school or if I'm at the vet center or just guys I talk to online is that they're normal guys. They're vets who got out. They're using their GI Bill to go to school to learn music. What is it? Finney and I think Jason are learning how to edit, upload, and do audio production and all that on top of learning how to play music. So, I mean, these guys are well-rounded musicians. They're learning it at Musicians Institute in Hollywood, and at the same time getting to travel and play music and be in a metal band. It's fucking beautiful, and they're awesome. So kudos to you guys. I think Bakersfield gave you a warm welcome. I could always wish for bigger and better. I wish the crowd was a little bit bigger. It was nice, a really good turnout.
Well, the show, don't get me wrong, because the Aviators were great too. They played a great show as well. And that show was, you guys missed out who didn't show up. That show was way better than what we had crowd-wise. We didn't deserve that show as a crowd.
No, what we mean by that is it was a free show, benefit for Wounded Heroes Fund, local veteran organization, no cover charge, donation at the door, right? It probably one of those shows that some people should have paid for.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. I mean, obviously, those bands went out there both those bands went out there to kick your ass. They went out there, it didn't matter if there was 100 people out there, 100,000 people. They were going out there, both those bands were going out there to kick ass and take names.
And in different ways, two totally different styles, but it flowed very well, I think. I think, maybe some people didn't understand, I guess, who went there for the metal didn't really understand where the Aviators were coming from. They're a unique band, too, in their own way. I mean, I like the way they rock the bell bottoms, and they have, like, AC/DC, early Def Leppard, kind of Stairway to Heaven kind of look to them,
Well, it's kind of like me and my wife were talking about it. Like, it's kind of, to me, it sounded like AC/DC meets the Black Crowes.
Yeah, you know what? That's actually a really good way of putting it. It is like AC/DC meets the Black Crowes. I like it. And
we spoke with the lead singer. I can't think of his name right now because as I was speaking to him, a fight broke out 3 feet behind me. But other than that, this guy was great.
Bakersfield.
The guy was great. Great to talk to. Took pictures with my wife, my daughter. We shot the shit for a while. And we're going to have them on pretty soon when their album drops, too.
Yeah, we're going to be having the Aviators on, which I think is there's quite a few podcasts in Bakersfield, and why these guys haven't been on any of these shows, I don't know. And I don't know if we have trolls out there from these other podcasts. I know I've reached out to a few of them, wanting to do some cross episodes, having them on ours and maybe us on theirs. Because with podcasting, there is no competition. I mean, it's not like radio where if you have a radio show from 12 to 3...
Right, there's not certain hours you can listen to. There's no recording, whatever.
So, like if I had a radio show from 12 to 3 and then you were on a different station and you had a show from 12 to 3... I wouldn't obviously ask you to come on mine because we're actually hunting for the same.
Well, I'd like to network, I mean,
right.
Shit.
But with podcast is different, we're both podcasts out of Bakersfield. I like to put out there to people that, hey, I want this to be the podcast people listen to in Bakersfield. But what I mean by that is that I want people to listen to our show and get something way different and want to go listen to other podcasts. That's what I'm saying. Listen to our show, but through our show, go listen to other ones. And so let's have local podcasts on and whatnot.
Well, I mean, the point of talk radio is you find hosts that you like what they say, whatever, and you just want to find out what they think about certain shit. That's what I always do.
Politics, sports, whatever. Podcast isn't really like that. I mean,
that's what you do anyway. Still, we're here shooting our mouths off, so there's some opinion involved. So, I mean, yeah, and hopefully you'll want to download it. But, I mean, so it can all go together. We don't have to fight each other.
Yeah, and I'm not saying it's anything like that, but why some of these podcasts in town haven't had the Aviators on, I don't know, because we're going to have them on probably in the next week or so. I'm kind of probably I'm going to Vegas this weekend, and Friday I'm going to see 10 Years in POD at B-Riders. It's going to be a great show here in town. So maybe next week, if I can get it done this week, we'll see what we can do, but we're definitely going to be reaching out to them and having them on in the next 2 weeks. Great group of guys, though, man.
Oh, I gave him card and number, contact information, so he should be getting a hold of us really quick.
Yeah, and the drummer used to live across the street from me, and the guitar player Will. I mean, just awesome guys, good dude, really good guys. I like them, great guys. But then Kings of Carnage hit the stage, and for all you veterans out there who listen to my show and have listened to me on Overwatch, you heard them on Overwatch. They came on Overwatch. Let me say Overwatch one more time. Overwatch. I notice when I edit, man, I say a lot of shit over and over again. I don't know what that is, but anyways, you've heard Kings of Carnage. You know what they're all about, and if you haven't, you've heard me bragging them about on Facebook or in person. If you came out that night, you know what I'm talking about. I have buddies, my buddy Wesley, Julio, Casey's deaf, 100% deaf. Casey with Wounded Heroes Fund, I used to work with him there, and he's a close brother of mine. He can't even hear, but based on he felt it. He felt, I guess, the percussions and the bass and the sound. He said, man, based on what I felt, I can tell it was a loud show. Those guys were out there, and he can tell by seeing,
right?
And feeling, he can just tell. I mean, so a deaf guy was even coming up to me and telling me how much he enjoyed it, and just by seeing people's reactions. I mean, these guys are awesome. I guess there's a rumor out there saying that they sound a lot like Avenged Sevenfold and maybe a little bit like what's the other band they brought up? There's rumors out there about what their sound is like. I don't see that. I mean, just because I just listen to them as being them, but they did play as a joke. They covered an Avenged Sevenfold song, and it was fucking killer, man. It was like on point. That was fucking kind of a joke, but like, hey, we can sound like this, and it was cool. Great show. We had a great time. A lot of vets came out. I think at my last count, because I counted, there was 42 vets that showed up to that show. And so to all you guys and gals, a couple females came out. I appreciate that. And make sure to check the April 2nd show at the Fox when they come back and play with the Dima.
Dude,
So,
I don't know who it was, and I want to thank this guy and also tell this guy to fuck off. There was a dude sitting by the bar who was a fan of the podcast who he walked by and said, "Oh, you're the dude on the fly. Yeah, I listen to you guys all the time." He shook my hand and bought me a shot of Jack. Okay, that was cool. But every time I walked by the fucking bar, he bought me another shot of Jack. And I can't remember the guy's name. I'm sorry. Actually, it's not that I couldn't remember. I couldn't hardly hear because there's a lot of noise going on in the background, it's hard for me to hear. But I made my wife end up going to the bar because I was like, I need to hang out all night. If I keep going back to the bar, this guy's going to fucking plow me under. So I got 4 from him. Thank you, but please don't do that shit again.
I wonder who that was, man. Was it one of the sponsors?
I don't know. No, it wasn't one of the sponsors. Dude,
Well, hey, you know what's cool about it is that, so in case some of you don't know or you're just listening for the first time, I've been sober for 6 months now. I've gone to a lot of things. I went 2 weeks ago to go see a local band, and one of a fellow promoter here in town put on a show, and I've had to deal with family loss and reasons for me to go out and drink. But I think this weekend, if not the stress of putting a show on, because I've never done that, dude. I've never in my life tried to put anything on aside from inviting my family and friends and army buddies to come over to watch UFC or a Super Bowl party or Halloween party or something. I've never gone to this extent to actually put a show on, make sure the band's paid, make sure they have their rooms, guests show up. I had no fucking clue what I was doing. But it seemed to have worked. But, the stress leading into it, if that didn't cause me to drink, it was seeing everybody there having a good time. Eric Hansen, brother, you're out there. You're listening. Showed up not Ranger panties. He showed up in silkies, marine silkies.
Yes.
Wore them the whole fucking time, brother. That right there is commitment. That's esprit de corps. And you're one Marine, one of the few Marines that this paratrooper had a lot of love and respect for. Just joking, man. I got a lot of respect for all you guys. But Eric, dude, that's fucking so funny, dude. But he told me he was doing it that week. He's like, I'm going to wear silkies. And I remember I was out by the front door and hanging out with, I think the aviators just got in there, and Eric walks up and he's fucking wearing silkies, man. And I'm just blown away. So kudos, man, to everybody who came out. We had Doug Harvey and his wife, his beautiful wife Debbie, came out. They don't listen to metal. You're talking about, I mean, they're in the country. They're older than I am, and not old by any means, but they're a little older than me, and they showed up outstanding, stayed the entire time, and he's like, you know what, I'm going to buy their CD. He's like, I like these guys, and he likes them because they're vets, but still, an amazing crowd, an amazing turnout. I had a blast that night. Randy and I were talking a little bit about, how to get these guys back here, and we think, they were to come back, most people would come back and see them again, I think. I mean, they're that good, right?
Yeah, I'm without a doubt. I mean, I think the retention level was going to be great. I mean, all we could do is grow in that audience because those guys, I mean, they kicked your ass. I mean, you came in.
They'll tell you straight up. And good for them, man, because I love it from a veteran's perspective that you have 5 guys who served their country, got out, all their passions kind of made their paths cross. I mean, 2 of them met in Afghanistan. That's where the band actually started. And then, now you have 5 dudes going to school, using their GI Bill, and playing music together. If that's not a positive, if that's not an example of positivity coming out of veterans, I don't really know what is. So, anyways, that went well. I got home. We came to my house, Randy and I, and the band came back and had some drinks, hung out for a little bit, and woke up the next day. I think I slept in for the first time. Damn, dude, I haven't slept in like that in a while. Because typically I go to bed late, but I'm still waking up roughly around like 8 or 9.
I know there was a few quarts of brain fluid low in my head when I woke up yesterday morning. My head was a little, oof. Thanks to the Jack Daniel shots again. And the 50 pitchers of beer I think we had.
Yeah, that was one thing that even though I didn't drink, like I was saying before, I think I went off on a tangent. Even though I didn't drink, I still woke up kind of drained, man, because it takes a lot out of you, man. It takes a lot. You're running around, you're talking to people. I'm up late. Yeah, so woke up the next morning, slept in, woke up, kind of showered, got cleaned up, fed my kid, kind of walked around the house a little bit. And after cleaning my fish tank, I realized, oh, shit, today's the Super Bowl. And I'm an NFL fan, so, I was so wrapped up in the previous show the night before, I wasn't even thinking about the Super Bowl. My team's not in it, but my focus was been on the podcast and the Kings of Carnage show that we put on. So I started watching the game, and we ordered a pizza. First year, I think, ever, dude, that I haven't gone anywhere and got shit-faced, which is kind of different. But we sat down, we were watching the game, and from the get-go, dude, from maybe the mid-first quarter, I knew this was going to be a long fucking game, dude. Just boring. And when I saw Peyton score in that first drive, I think they kicked a field goal on that first drive, but he drove the ball down. And when I saw Cam go 4 and out and not even really do anything with his offense, I said, yeah, dude, this is going to be a long fucking Super Bowl. And it was. It
was, dude, that game was long as shit. You add in the halftime show. Though, even going back, did you see any of the pregame shows?
No, you're talking about that day?
Yeah.
No, dude, like I said, I slept in and...
Right before kickoff, they brought out the 50 MVPs. The people who won MVP through all the Super Bowls and everything.
Are they all still alive?
Most of them. Good. I think about every one of them. Well, there's a couple, I think, that maybe. But you noticed every one of those. There was a couple who didn't make it. I don't think they could come or whatever. But you noticed that every one of those dudes had a limp, man. Those guys are... I'm talking even current dudes. Like Aaron Rodgers was limping. Brady, those guys, but you could just tell. And then you look at the older ones and you're like, oh, man, these guys they're putting it out on the line.
Oh, so Brady was there?
Yeah.
See, I didn't watch none of that, bro. When I turned my TV on, I literally watched the coverage leading in to, like the first coverage going into the kickoff. I missed the national anthem. Was the national anthem good? I heard all this Lady Gaga. I've seen the memes online.
Whatever.
I saw the funniest fucking meme I've seen online was the one where she looks like, it says, it shows a picture of her, and it says, when you got to sing the national anthem at the Super Bowl at 6:30, but kick off the Hunger Games at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I saw a lot of people say she did a good job, so
There was a lot of messages going on in that whole Super Bowl issue too.
Yeah, so let's get down to it. So let's get to the meat and potatoes of the game. Obviously, the game was slow. Went into the second half. Same thing.
Commercials stunk, which if you really care that much about commercials, you got a problem. Other than the David Lee Roth commercial, that ruled. But
so yeah, let's go into the commercials and then the halftime show, because the halftime show is going to take a lot of discussing. As far as the commercials go, the funniest one that I saw, the funniest commercial that I saw had to have been the Steve Harvey one. The Steve Harvey commercial. Did you see that one?
I saw that it was on, but I use commercials what they're for, to grab alcohol and piss.
Yeah, I chuckled, but I was very, very, very disappointed in all the movie commercials. Okay, the Ninja Turtles, as someone who grew up as a huge Turtle fan, I was the kid that had all of them. I had all the toys, all the cartoons. I'm happy that Bebop and Rocksteady are in it. I'm happy that Casey Jones, Krang's in it. That's cool. And you know what? They're not really... I think they realized with Transformers, Michael Bay realized that if he goes too far away from the canon and from what they look like, he's not going to...
Did it look like the Benghazi movie?
It looked like the Benghazi movie, but with an alien and, and giant rhinoceroses. So, that trailer was cool. I was like, oh, damn, I played it a couple times and was like, shit, man, cool. Now, the Captain America Civil War, that was a fucking extremely disappointing trailer, because everyone who knows anything about Marvel, and this guy that's talking right now is a huge Spider-Man fan, diehard Spidey fan. My whole life, dude, Spider-Man's my dude. He's going to be in this movie. So why on the major, most watched trailer during Super Bowl Sunday, why didn't they even have a glimpse of him? I have no idea. Pretty fucking weak, man.
And then they pulled that, since you didn't see did you see any of the Turkish Airlines commercials?
I saw the Turkish airline commercials for Gotham.
Yeah, that's what they ran those all through the thing for that and Metropolis. But now, if you want to talk about something that really pisses me off, and I don't even really care that much, but the Batman versus Superman movie, they pump this whole thing that they're going to be enemies, but they show you in the same damn commercial that they team together to form the Justice League.
Yeah, you know that when it comes to the Batman and Superman movie, the first thing as like a semi-conspiracy theorist is, do you remember that movie Legend with Will
I Am
Smith?
Legend? Yes.
You remember when he's walking? He's walking in downtown. He's in downtown
New York City.
You know, everything's abandoned. Zombies take over at night. He's walking down during the day, and in the background is a Batman versus Superman emblem. That's really fucking weird. I don't know, but so
that movie is no. You want to talk about a movie that needs a remake? Because I like that movie a lot, and I don't even really like Will Smith, but I like that movie.
Have you seen the alternate endings?
Yeah, but those fucking zombies or whatever they are, the CGI on those things stinks so bad that it's not hardly even watchable anymore. And I like that movie, and that movie's not even 10 years old.
That was bad, dude. But you know what, though? I watched that movie, and I didn't even know there was an alternate ending until I was in Afghanistan, and somebody told me, and I think I waited for the one computer we had on my cop to be free, and I said I was going to Skype my mom or Skype my wife or something, and all I did was fucking download and watch that fucking alternate ending. But anyways,
what about Independence Day?
Independence Day, man, dude. So I loved that movie as a kid. Me being into aliens and all that shit too. I loved that movie as a kid. That movie hit when I was about 13, 14 years old, so it was a big deal. I don't know if they're going to pull it off. I don't know. I think there's too much. You know, one thing about
that CGI. No, we're going to get back to CGI.
Well, one thing with CGI and when you have big things on screen, like Transformers has a problem with it. Some of the comic movies have a hard time with it. When you have to put big fucking spaceships and big anything on screen, you got to be sitting and you got to have your body and your face a certain distance away from the screen because it's hard to look at. I've watched that trailer on my phone, the Independence Day trailers for the new one, the sequel, and I don't know, dude. I gotta watch it on my TV because
it doesn't look good.
I don't know, like it. So okay, so
if Star Wars, if the new Star Wars taught you anything, settle down with the CGI and use practical effects. I'm telling you, just from looking at that commercial, because they used models and shit in the first Independence Day when they were blowing up those buildings, and it looks 100 times better than what they were showing in this Independence Day.
Was that Michael Bay too?
No, that's those Emmerich, those dudes who made that crappy Matthew Broderick Godzilla movie.
Okay, so anyway, so for those of you who remember the movie Independence Day back in the 90s with Will Smith, where the aliens come and they hover over L.A. and blow up L.A. and New York, and then we win.
D.C.
Okay, yeah, D.C., all that. They're making a sequel to it. Apparently, the aliens come back, this time with the bigger spaceship, and Will Smith isn't in it. Apparently, his character died.
Yes.
Apparently,
his kid's supposed it's his kid.
If you remember Independence Day, in the beginning, it was Will Smith's stripper wife and his son. The little son, he was like 8 years old. Now he's all grown up, and he took up the role as daddy, and he flies planes, and I don't know, fights aliens again, and it's gonna. I don't think it's gonna do good. Now, am I gonna go see it? Of course.
Yeah, I'm all in.
Fuck yeah, I'm gonna go see it. But I don't know.
Speaking of which, we going to Deadpool Friday?
Yeah, well, I have to go the 11th.
Fuck off.
It's the 11th.
Oh, no. I'm going Friday morning.
I'll be here Friday morning if you want to go.
I don't know. I mean, I know me and the wife are going. I mean, we can work on something, but we'll figure it out or whatever. But
It's Friday the 12th?
Friday's the 12th.
I think Born for War wants to come on. It's Micah from King's Carnage.
Okay.
It's his girlfriend's band. They want to come on that day. But, okay, so anyways, going back to movies.
Behind the scenes chat. Never mind.
What was the fourth movie? So there, you got Turtles, you got Captain America, Independence Day. There was another one.
I didn't pay that much attention.
No, there was another one, man. I can't think about it right now. I mean, that's okay. That's the whole point. Like, there was nothing that stood out in the commercials that was like, "Fuck."
The Bourne movie.
Oh yeah, are you a Bourne fan?
Yeah, I like that one. That looked decent.
I'm not a fucking Jason Bourne fan.
I'm not really either.
I'm not a 007 fan.
Nope.
I'm not a Bourne fan.
There's a couple of those Mission Impossible movies have been a little bit better than they should have been.
Oh hell no,
dude.
I want to
Have you seen
Tom Cruise?
Mission Impossible 3? And don't watch it for Tom Cruise.
That's the one when Metallica did this. Now I did. See
No, that was
one.
2.
It was. That might 2.
I think it's 3. Look for the one that has Philip Seymour Hoffman on it. He plays, dude, and fuck watching that movie for Tom Cruise. Root for Philip. Because he is the best, one of the best bad guys you've ever seen in any movie.
I know,
dude.
he played a good bad guy.
Rules in that movie.
I don't know, but the commercials were weak, man. The Doritos commercial that made all that controversy about
Super Bowl babies.
Oh, fuck. Okay, so the Doritos commercial, every year Doritos is supposed to have the best commercials in Budweiser. I don't even remember the Budweiser commercial, so that's how fucking stupid.
Wasn't there someone with like a fucking pug and a monkey and something combined together or some shit?
Yeah, that was like, I think
that was a Bud Light commercial.
Fucking dumb. Okay, and then the Doritos one with the baby kicking out, it's stupid. And then, like Randy just said, the most fucking dumb commercial of the whole time was apparently the NFL did a statistics, like an actual study, and more babies are born.
There's just some number with Super Bowl.
There's some fucking strange study that, like, if your city wins the Super Bowl, so in this case Denver, there's going to be a shit ton of more babies
about
born.
9 months from now.
9 months from now, there's going to be a shit ton more babies born from in Denver, in Colorado probably, than anywhere else in America. So Super Bowl wins make more babies.
Do you imagine how many, like, this? Now, I want to see a statistic on how many women were thrown down the stairs in Buffalo for 4 years in a row when they got their ass beat 4 years in a row.
That's why no one lives there, man.
How many women got kicked in the stomach who are halfway pregnant because their drunken husband is like, really again, Jim Kelly, you motherfucker, or Scott Norwood? I mean, Jesus. What a goofy
I bet
ass.
you a divorce attorneys made a lot in that 4-year period.
Well, and then, so what the funny thing about it is, too, is if you think about it is, so Super Bowl equals most pizza sold in a day, most avocados sold, I think they said one of the highest of spousal abuse and making kids.
Yeah,
Everything you need.
Yeah, okay, so I just didn't...
Food, fighting, and fucking. You're in.
It was just weak, man. It was weak. Nothing really grabbed my attention, and then enter the halftime show.
Oh, boy.
Okay, dude, so...
How long did it take for me to post that shit?
Oh, God. Okay, so let's go back to the birth commercial that the NFL put on. So, they're saying on one hand, they're promoting babies. They're promoting having babies. And that's what that commercial does. They had people from all ages, man. From all the Super Bowl wins. 1979, they had, 35-something-year-old dude.
No, this gets into a question really quick about that. Is people got worried about a few years ago when Janet Jackson's titty flopped out about having to explain it to your kids why this boob's on the screen and we have to explain the evil of a naked breast. So now shouldn't people be just as equally concerned? And that was supposedly something that was put on by that was an accident that the NFL had nothing to do with. But shouldn't people be more concerned now about, now you better get ready to have the birds and the bees conversation with your kid because why are all these assholes born when this, off of this goofy commercial?
I don't get it. Well, here's what grabbed me. Again, going back to my semi-conspiracy theorist mind. So the halftime... It's been kind of a thing now for a while that during the NFL halftime shows, there's some kind of underlying message. Now, whether it's the Illuminati or the NFL working for the Illuminati or both, or it's some kind of, secret government message being pushed across the board. I know there was some satanic type stuff that Beyonce had a few years ago, and every year it's supposed to be some underlying message. You read these NWO, these New World Order, these Illuminati conspiracy, and it's like how they want to eliminate world population. They want to they want to have some kind of event that takes away world population because there's 7 billion people and it creates a problem. So if that's the case, why are they having the NFL put out commercials that are encouraging people to have babies? Like, I don't get that part. So then, all that aside, the fucking show starts, and first of all, football is a man sport. I don't give a shit. Football is a man sport. Yes, there are a lot of women, a lot of chicks out there who watch it, and they enjoy it. But all in all, it's a man sport. It's about beer drinking, watching guys hit each other, competition, alpha males out there competing. That's what it's about, right?
Oh, yeah.
We can agree with that? Why in the fuck would you have Coldplay?
Well, let's start this off from the beginning. Lady Gaga singing the national anthem. If you really want to draw into a certain audience who happens to be in San Francisco where the Super Bowl was played. I mean, there's a lot of gay Lady Gaga fans, for one.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
and
yeah.
they know, though.
Well, wasn't she a hermaphrodite? Or fucking
No, that's...
Was that a rumor?
Yeah.
See, that was all going on when I was deployed, so I don't know if that was true. Like, I never looked into it.
I mean, the fact is, though, is what you were saying is about football being a man sport, all this shit. And I don't really necessarily believe in the Illuminati thing, but I believe there was a message here, and... Okay, I don't care about your message, that's fine, but just let me know that I saw it. But there's this, they were working through all of it, and they still hit with, it still fell flat, though. And I forgot what the fuck I was going to say right now. Go ahead, and it'll come back to me.
Well, I mean, Coldplay, dude. Coldplay was first of all, Coldplay has one song that is
now,
good.
they sold a lot of albums.
Coldplay is a cool song to play when the bar's closing down, it's last call.
Coldplay is a cool band to listen to when you're sitting in your fucking dentist's office.
Right.
Because you're like, it has a beat. It's not the Carpenters. And
Right.
you high five a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, but when I hear Coldplay, I think of a lot of bars I've gone to, and it's like last call. And
I think of it as closing time.
Yeah, it's closing time.
That's not Coldplay.
That's not Coldplay, but they have a song that was fucking played. I can't think of the name of it because I don't listen to them. But there was a certain bar I went to. There was actually a couple bars I went to that would play Coldplay right after last call. They've already done Journey. You know, everyone's already...
Hotel California.
You know, everyone's already fucking singing Bon Jovi. And it's like last call. And so forever, whoever doesn't leave after that, you got like 8 people still in the bar. There's like always Coldplay playing. That's my experience with this band. That's the only way I know them. And I think I've came across a couple of douchebags who liked them. But apparently a lot of gays listen to that band too. I mean, they came out, their whole set was all rainbow, all flowers. I mean, the dudes were all, are they that kind of band? I've never seen them live.
But there was a message, I forgot what it was, all of something up in the stands that the people flipped over the placards playing.
What do you mean?
There was some sort of, like, printed out message that the people on the top of the stands pulled out these cards, and it said something about, it was basically a same-sex marriage / gay-friendly message through the whole thing, which is fine. I really don't care. That's fine. I'm for it. I don't care. But don't think that you're sneaking off. I just watch a fucking football game without messages being thrown at me. That's what I was going to say. Football is a beer-drinking man sport, whatever that you said. Yes. But they know they have us. They have us. We're going to watch the shit. So what they need to do is they're pulling at the seams to drag other people into it and making an event for people who wouldn't watch it. Because they got us.
I mean, it's a business. The NFL's a business. They say it. We say it. It's obvious. I think we've said it on a couple of episodes already. But they want to make more money, and they want to draw more fans in. I get it. Okay, I can see it from a business perspective. But, dude, that was by far the most gay. And I get it. Let's pay homage to San Francisco. The hippie 1960s San Francisco lifestyle turned into.
But if you classify San Francisco as a gay city, they'll run you out of town and call you a sexist or, a homophobe.
Okay, but it is what it is. Anyone who's been there, been to downtown, can see all those huge rainbow flags everywhere, and it's obvious. The oldest joke in the book is it has to do with San Francisco and being gay. So, it started in the 60s being the city of love, and they wrote all the songs about it. Who was it, the Mama and Papas? Who wrote that song? Going to San Francisco.
Hell, I don't know.
Anyways, and now it's like it's a gay friendly city. It's also
liberal as the day is long.
Liberal and it's got the illegal immigrant. What's that term they use for the?
Oh, like a shit. I can't think of the name of it.
It's like a safe city for
safe haven shit or something.
Safe haven city for illegal immigrants and it's like
sanctuary.
Okay, sanctuary city. So it's like, okay, that's what Frisco is. So they had to pay homage to the city that's hosted it. I get it. I totally get it. They did it for New Orleans. I understand.
And if you're going to do that, then this goes back to the halftime show in your bands. Why don't you pick, local bands?
Metallica.
Green Day's from there. Journey.
Metallica played the night before.
Right. But that's not going to work with what they're showing,
You know what, though, man? My original plan was to have, we were going to get Kings of Carnage to play Friday, wake up Saturday morning, go watch Metallica on Saturday night, and then watch the game somewhere in the Frisco area. That was my plan. Didn't work out. I'm a diehard Metallica fan, so a little disappointed. But I'll say this. they could have had a local band on, like you just said.
I mean, there's Huey Lewis in the news. They're at every damn local sporting event. There's Journey. There's Santana. I mean, you could have went down the list. And that's what they ought to do. This would settle down. But see, they sell that to bands. Because I believe I heard last year that bands are paying to be on that. So Coldplay probably paid to be.
But they're not even like Coldplay. Like they're not even. I mean, that must cost a lot of money to pay to be on that.
They do.
They have that kind of money. Like
dude, they're huge.
With who?
I don't know, but they're huge.
Like obviously,
not with this guy, but
I mean, then it must be gay people because I mean that was the gayest. I mean the way they had all that floral designs on their amps and on their guitars and fucking one dude had like flowers all over his chest. I said, this is gay, bro. That was the gayest performance I think I have ever fucking seen. And then my wife said the lead singer is married to Gwyneth Paltrow, maybe?
I don't know if they still are, but they're sharing kids or whatever. But, and I mean, that's fine if that.
You talk about it like it's like toys or something. Yeah, they're sharing kids.
Yeah, they are. Like, they like toss them on each other. You know, we'll raise them together.
Didn't they name their kids something fucking weird?
Apple or some shit.
Okay, so this is who we're talking about. Okay, now it's starting to make sense.
And I mean, it's fine. But my whole thing was I didn't care. I honestly didn't care if you want to make. I mean, well then, see, I was kind of like, well, this is pretty gay, and then. My nemesis pops up online, Joshua Feuerstein, that motherfucker. He pops up with, the Super Bowl's gay and you're all going to hell and you're going to die. Oh, shit. So then I was like, you know what? Never mind. It wasn't gay enough. Next year, I want the Village People, followed by Right Said Fred, and dudes having sex on the stage if it's going to piss that motherfucker off. So I'm over it. Bring it. Make it gayer next year.
Okay. Fuck, man, I'm trying to get Metallica. There's this petition.
Fuck that. If it pisses Josh Feuerstein off, we're having live sex acts next year. Bullshit.
Wait, who is that?
That's that fat fucker with the red hat backwards, that no coffee cup drinking Starbucks dickhead. Fuck him.
That guy. God, we gotta have that guy on just to
hashtag him. Fuck him.
Well, so then that wasn't the end of it. Then comes Bruno Mars, which again, dude, I don't.
Didn't they say they were celebrating 50 years of Super Bowl, but they had people, Beyonce and Bruno Mars, who basically played in the last 3 years of the Super Bowl?
Yeah, okay, so if you're going to have people who've played as like a celebration, past, present, and future, whatever, go a little bit farther in the past. It's like Beyonce just played.
Yeah, Michael Jackson. You know how cool that would have been if he would have came out?
I know, right?
Oh, shit. No, there's too many kids on stage. Oh, wait, he's dead, too, huh? Oh, never mind.
But you know what I mean? Like, fuck. Bruno Mars, I think, personally, I know maybe 2 or 3 songs that I hear
incessantly whenever a radio is on.
Yeah,
Jesus.
or I go into an office and some, fat receptionist is listening to him. Beyonce, I absolutely fucking hate. I hate her. I hate her husband. I loathe them. She comes out with that whole Black Panther. When I saw it, most people were looking at it and they didn't know what it was. But as soon as they came out, I was like, these chicks are dressed like Black Panthers. My wife's like, what do you mean? Because they're black? I said, no. They got black berets on. And look at their, like, militaristic
Well, that song
outfit.
was a Black Lives... That she made a lot of... I guess the new video is like a Black Lives Matter song.
Oh, I didn't, I don't know that much. I can't say
I
that.
was reading shit online last night.
So she walks out, and then I'm like, hey, something looks really familiar about that outfit she's wearing. And then I remembered after I saw, like, images from the past Super Bowl. During that halftime show, there was images and video of past Super Bowl appearances, and there was that Michael Jackson one, and he had like this militaristic outfit on, which is always kind of weird. I always wanted to wonder, like, what does his rank mean? Like, how did he earn that? Like, what? I never got that. So, and he's wearing like this fake ammo belt around his chest, and so she wore something similar to kind of like to pay homage to him, I guess. I don't know. And then you had so then they all meet on stage. You have the gay band. Bruno Mars, who is just a goofy fucking guy to begin with. And then, the ugly Beyonce dancing all angrily. I think dancing's ridiculous, period. But when you're dancing angry with an angry look on your face, you look...
We're getting fierce.
You look
fuck
fucking
off.
stupid, man. Like, you look completely... Ugh. Anyway, so I just walked away from that whole halftime experience like, what the fuck did I just watch, man? I went from gay and happy and love and fucking okay, rainbow, all that, to now it's like, here come the Black Panthers, to this goofy fucking guy with hair dancing around, and now they're all collaborating. I didn't understand what the fuck I was watching, dude. I was like, what's happening here? My wife's like, so what message did you get from that? And I said, I don't know. Fuck, confusion.
Well, and you know too, with the Beyonce and that song is supposed to be like some Black Lives Matter thing. That yeah, she also, and I don't know if she demanded, which I kind of doubt. I'm pretty sure the NFL did, but she definitely did have a police escort to the stadium.
Okay, so let's figure this out. So she.
No, I'm pretty sure because the story came across online that she demanded the police escort. I'm pretty sure the NFL made her have a police escort to the thing because they don't want this bitch to be late, nonetheless. But
okay, true, but at the same time, if you're such a huge activist and you're standing up for what you feel is right, for Black Lives Matter, which I think is fucking stupid. I think all lives matter, but okay. And then you're gonna say this, that, and the other about police. Why the fuck are you gonna? Why are you gonna agree to it? Even if the NFL paid for it, okay? And
yeah, there's a way to make your stance.
Even if you're label or you're whoever, if you're such an activist, there's your golden opportunity.
Make your stance.
That is your golden fucking opportunity to say no, absolutely not. I will not.
But that would have been too big of a stance in mainstream that everybody would have seen it. She can make her stance that'll be less quiet in the community of music, but she's not going to pump that out in front of 180 million people.
Then you know what? I'm sorry. And
your stance is horseshit.
You're fake, and you're pathetic, and anybody who believes in you is being fucking led astray. Because if I was that person, and let's say it was a Veterans Lives Matter or something, and it was like I, for some reason, had a vendetta against the police because they had an opposite view of 22-a-day suicides, and they said, hey, you want... I'm just hypothetical. Hey, we're going to give you a police escort. I would have been like, fuck no. I don't want it. I'll get there on my own. And if I'm late, check it out. Hey, Chadman's late to the performance because he didn't want to take police escort. Like, that's being true to your activist. Like, to your cause. Not, secretly doing that and then putting a message out. Like, that's pathetic to me, dude.
Well, that's the whole revolution that you can... It's back to even the basis where you can revolt against mommy and daddy, but it goes out in the public, you're not. It's really brave to do it, unless the whole world sees it type shit.
Nah, that's stupid, man. I just, the NFL should really...
Should have been nice if the cops would have got in trouble if they could have refused it, but they couldn't.
I mean, that's the most watched event every year. I mean, I think what beats the Super Bowl as far as viewers?
Oh, nothing. Yesterday was the most, I believe they said the most watched television program ever. Ever.
So there it is. So you look at, so with that alone, timeout. More people are going to watch that. The entire world, for the most part, is going to be watching that. Okay? Almost all the United States and a lot of millions of other people around the world. Now, what are the main things going on with the world? Okay, clearly there's the whole Middle East thing going on. You have the cop thing, the Black Lives Matter things going on. Okay, so they hit the gay marriage. There's different topics that they can hit. I just think that if you're going to be an activist and you're going to do something, the Black Panther thing was pretty upfront. It was obvious. I picked it up quick, but make if you're that hardcore, Beyonce, make your stand. Don't have the cops come.
Third most watched television program ever. Fell a little short.
I just find that weak, man. I mean, I think if I was her, I would have been like, no, fuck your police escort. That's just me.
Let's get to another. Who the fuck stops watching the Super Bowl, though? Why is it the third? Like, how did numbers fall off? That's what I want to know.
What was the number 2 and number 1?
I'm looking that up right now. But it says fall short of the record. I'm sure it was another Super Bowl.
Well, you're looking it up. I walked away from that I walked away from that whole performance, man. Just kind of perplexed.
Last year was 114 million, and the 2014 game was 112.
And those were the most watched. So
it could be due to region. Boring. I mean, if you went down the list, what regions were represented?
Well, the South.
You had the whole Northeast with New England.
So I read something really interesting about this Super Bowl, and I like looking at different possibilities. Some people call me a tinfoil hat wearer, but I read something that somebody posted, and it made a lot of sense to me. You had a white quarterback represented by a white horse, right? And then you had a black quarterback represented by a Black Panther, okay? You had that. And leading into it, it was like how Cam Newton's going to own this, and he was standing up for African Americans, and the old ways with the old white quarterback is going to be, just eradicated because the Panthers were going to dominate. And then that didn't happen. I mean, the complete opposite happened, dude. And funny because you saw his reaction. Because, okay, Cam Newton got MVP of the year. He was the most valuable player. Okay, Deion Sanders put it perfectly. He is the most valuable player in their league, in their company, in their product. There's nobody in the league more valuable than Cam Newton. Okay? This guy loses a Super Bowl. Okay, everyone loses. Every good
Well, you had a 50-50 shot here, you know.
Right. You were in the game, dude. Like, you know what I mean? You made it there, and you were 17-1, right? So, here's my thing. He threw that fit on the sidelines. Do you see him? That everyone's seen it. If you haven't seen it yet, go look it up. He threw a fit in the sidelines, and like a little 2-year-old throwing a fit in a grocery store who can't get a piece of candy, dropped to his back and fucking threw a fit. And like, wah, like a fucking cry, dude. And on the fucking, there you are, dude. You are the most valuable player in the league, and you throw a tantrum like that.
Did you see his press conference after the game?
Well, that's what I'm gonna get to. Oof. When you as a player and as a leader and a quarterback and especially the MVP of the league, you know the game's lost. You know, Denver just scored that second touchdown. They're now up 14-0.
You punt with 2 minutes left. You'd given up.
Okay, so yeah, he had already given up, but now you know the game's lost. Okay, and then you throw a fit like that in front of millions of people. It was televised, dude. We all saw you do it. Okay. That's pretty fucking pathetic, dude. And if you're the person who's standing up for not only, players and the league, but kind of underline you're standing up for a cause and for your for African Americans, okay? Is that really who you want? I just see that you have two examples of people in Beyonce and Cam Newton who are supposed to be icons of the black community do a piss poor performance of standing up for them. Meanwhile, you have other people like Dr. Ben Carson, Colin Powell, how many other athletes are out there doing stand-up gigs? And you have these two knuckleheads on the biggest stage the fucking world has, and that's how they act. And we're supposed to take them serious? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was...
That's fucking pathetic. So then his press conference comes and...
Well, not to mention leading into it, though, like... And I was not... I don't know. I wasn't totally rooting for Cam, but I thought that people put way too much into dissecting every word that came out of his mouth. Like, they put more into dissecting the words coming out of his mouth than we have spent time dissecting people who hold office in this country and send people to war. I mean, they were exact wording the shit out of this guy. The guy's fucking 26 years old. He's an athlete. Give the guy a fucking break. I mean, if you would hold the scrutiny to your politicians that you were holding to this poor bastard, you might have a better fucking government.
I was going for him. I liked him. I mean, he's an entertaining player. The team was good. I mean, I like him. I don't like him now after I saw how he reacted, because you see it when somebody loses, or when somebody's about to die, or when somebody's in a traumatic situation. And I say loses because when you see a competitor, when you see them lose on a scale like that, it's just like you see the truth in who they really are.
Well, it's easy to win.
Yeah, it's easy to win.
17-1, he's a fucking great guy. He's high-fiving everybody.
Right,
that one loss, but because that one loss, you figured that one loss got the undefeated pressure off of him. So shit, that was almost a relief as much as it was a loss. Mm-hmm. But then you saw the way he was led into that, and he gave not justification, but to the people who were the old racists who were defending shit and having problems against what he did, he gave them ammunition. God damn it! When you had a chance to fucking win, you could have turned so many people by just going up there and going, hey man, we didn't have it today. It sucked. Answer the fucking questions. I know it hurts, but you got to be up there for 3 minutes.
I know.
Suck it up for 3 minutes. And leave. And
he sat there like a punk-ass kid who just got sent to the principal's office and was getting drilled by the principal and the student counselor. He sat there with this...
petulant child.
Exactly. And just sitting there with this pathetic look on his face, and it was like, hello, dude. If I was the NFL, I would have stripped his title right there. I'd be like, look, man, that's the most piss poor, pathetic, sore losing fucking act I've ever seen in my life, dude. And then he does the unthinkable. He gets up and walks away. Which, hold on, everybody knows how I feel about the media. Okay, I don't think.
Well, I'm sure he hit somebody hit him the cut sign where he could bounce right at the time. He got his 3 minutes in, but it was 3 minutes of one-word answers and other shit.
Pathetic, man. I mean, it's absolutely pathetic. And it was, if I was a young kid watching that, that wouldn't be somebody I'd look up to, man. I mean, I wouldn't.
I mean, if you want to go black community thing, I mean, look at how Russell Wilson was last year in defeat. Answered all his questions. Everything he wanted to do. But then they say that he's too corny and he's too fucking, I don't know, man.
No, they like Cam Newton because he dresses flashy. He's got that,
he's got a little swag to him.
He's got that swag to him. He's got that attitude. And that's what I guess, I'm not black, but I guess a lot of black people relate to that. Russell Wilson, he's too whitewashed. You know what I mean? But he's a black guy, dude. He's a black dude. What I don't understand why he isn't good enough, but you want, the kind of flashy dude with swag out there representing you with, the angry woman dancing. I don't know. If I was black and I was looking for somebody to represent me, it would not be those two. It wouldn't. And I'm just saying that from a human perspective. They're just fucking low-life humans. Both of them.
That game sucked, too. Fuck.
Boring. It was boring, dude. It was boring and boring. So, I don't know. I
mean, there was part of it where you thought, because I kept saying Denver had all these opportunities, just to blow this shit out of the water. And when it was 16-10, it's like, all you need is one of these assholes for Carolina to hit the seam, and it's 17-16. And, I mean, do you really see Peyton Manning? Do you think he was going to drive down the field with 3 minutes left in the game?
No, but, that's another thing I wanted to touch base on. All the attention went to him. Oh, Peyton. It's like the media swarmed him after the game.
But that's the story.
No, it should have been the defense. And that goes to show that the media, just the twisted corruption in the media, where
it's them controlling the narrative.
They controlled the narrative and they went right to him. He barely threw over 100 yards.
Well, it was the easiest story too, though. That's the thing, is they go for easy.
Well, he didn't have any touchdowns. He had one interception. I think he had 119 yards. I know either 119 or 149 shitty yards. He did nothing.
Which if you take away his yardage from that first drive,
he did nothing the whole game.
I mean, shit.
So that's what I'm saying. And they go to him when it was the defense who won the day. Yeah, that guy Von Miller. Von Miller was the MVP of the game. They should have gone to him because he's the guy leading that defense that sacked. He didn't do it personally, but the defense sacked Cam Newton 5 fucking times. I think, dude. 6 times.
6 or
okay,
7.
I forgot about that last fourth quarter. I lost count. But they sacked that dude. The defense was so fast in that game.
Didn't it look like they had 14 dudes out on the field, too? Because you were like, fuck, they got pressure on them, and they throw the ball out there, and there's 4 Denver players out by the ball.
Well, that defense, I think, is better than Baltimore's was years ago. I mean, that defense was outstanding, and they should have given those guys the credit. Yes, they should have gone to Peyton, but they shouldn't have swarmed him the way they did. It's not like he went out there and threw for 4 touchdowns, had 286 yards, no interceptions. He had a shitty game. That was probably one of the worst games that dude's ever played, man. And to twist it like that, like it was his narrative, his game, I think takes away from the defense.
Well, stats-wise, it might have been the worst game, but that worst game was probably that Super Bowl a couple years ago when they got their fucking doors blown off by Seattle. Oof.
What was it? Oh, the first Denver-Seattle one. You talking about?
Yeah, there was only one Denver-Seattle Super Bowl. That was 2 years ago.
I thought you were talking about the year he lost to the Saints.
No. Well, that was in Indy, but I mean, that was because they were out of that game before that shit even started. It was over.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I look at the whole way that went, and it was just, if there's ever a reason to believe that the media is as corrupt as it is and is just rotten, it was shown from before the game, during the game, and after.
Well, you do realize what it was is you were held hostage for 5 hours while you were getting different messages just thrown at you. Is all it was. It was buy this, think this,
accept that,
anything. It was 5 hours of you being sold something.
Yeah, I mean, it was.
And then if you add in the fact that if you add the pregame shows that started, 12 hours before the game started, you got a good, 12-hour block of,
It was on. I wish there was a way that you can just watch the game with no commentators. Put it up. Yeah, but I mean, even then, that's hard. No one's gonna do that.
Well, you know what we had too much of a night the night before, and I was a little too hungover. I honestly thought, what we ought to do is come over here and just watch the fucking game and broadcast that shit and let the NFL send us a cease and desist letter because we said Super Bowl, Super Bowl, Super Bowl, and see how many times before we got the so we could just
talking about like next year when it's live.
No, I meant yesterday. Just we could have sat here and watched that shit and recorded it and just posted it just so we could get the cease and desist letter from the NFL and hang it up on the wall.
I did see somebody say. They posted on Facebook, and they said, I can't think of who it was. And they were like, oh, just Periscope the last 3 minutes of the game. Is that illegal? Is that illegal to go on Periscope and to live stream?
I'm sure it is.
UFC fight? You would think it would
It
be,
is.
Right?
Because they took down all those Justin TV sites and all those sites where they stream the fights. And if you are watching one of those on illegal source, they will get taken down while you're in the middle of watching them.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm disgusted with the media, and the weekend was really good. Saturday was awesome, dude. I had like I said, a great time, an amazing time. The concert went awesome. I'm kind of pumped for, I guess, where I'm going in life and what I'm into, and doing this with you and doing other things. But then the Super Bowl just took a lot. I think I caught a cold or something. Man. My throat's all. I thought it was maybe all that smoke in the concert, but I think I got a bug, and so I kind of felt like shit physically, and then. Just disgusted mentally, man, watching everything unfold the way it did. And then the next day, so today I'm doing homework and I'm watching TV and I'm just disgusted at what they're talking about. There was no mention of that defense. All they talked about is this halftime performance, Beyonce's Black Panther, Cam Newton quitting, is Peyton Manning retiring.
Can I just watch a fucking football game, man?
Whatever happened to that? Like, can we just watch guys compete?
Honestly, just bring fucking marching bands back out. Can we, not care about it? And you know what the weird thing about it is we're all so wrapped up into the Super Bowl halftime show that we've been sold. You do realize that that's not, we haven't had that for that long. It was in the 80s sometimes where this shit got big because before it was seriously like a marching band and Wide World of, colored flags or some shit. It wasn't this big ass production. Well, and did you even notice in the game that first drive that Denver has the ball, they cut to a commercial and they go, we're only a few minutes away from the halftime show. 3 minutes had been gone in the game,
yes,
so it showed you that the game was more, the halftime show was more important than the fucking game.
I did catch that. Well, because you know what? And
it's to keep around the non-viewers because they have us.
Yeah, that's what it is, and they know what it is.
But yeah, dude, it was that first drive ended, and they go.
I remember that.
And I looked at the clock. I looked at the game clock, and I go, "Well, how much fucking?" Because I was messing around, because I was still, feeding the kids and everything, and food preparations and all that, and sitting down, got a drink, and I was like, "Well, how much time of this fucking game went by? Did I miss a quarter?" And I looked, and it was 13 minutes left in the first quarter.
I was in my kitchen, and I remember that. I said, whoa, the game just started. I remember I said it out loud. That's so funny. I didn't even think about that till now. Yeah, man, man, that's the world we live in. Where one game is used. Can you imagine what it would look like if you can put a camera on every TV, and fuck, man, most of them have them. I know my TV has a camera on it. Put a camera on every single TV and look at everybody looking back at you. You know how many? Because it's really easy to say, oh yeah, there was 300 million viewers, but
Samsung told you with that smart TV, don't watch out what you say around that motherfucker and watch out what you do because it's.
Well, I'm surprised. Then in that case, I'm surprised I haven't had fucking ATF. FBI,
oh, dude.
But here's my point. It's really easy to say 300 million people watched that game or whatever it was. Put a face on every one of those people. That is a lot of people, dude. That is I mean, try
I
and think
almost
about
wish
that.
I could make myself not watch it just so I'm not bought in like everybody else is.
I can't do that.
I know, but I almost wish I could not watch it just because I don't want them that they've got me.
Well, you know what though? I almost did, man. I've been spending so much money on different things, and next weekend I'm going to Vegas. I almost went snowboarding. No joke. I legitimately was. I was gonna go with a buddy of mine, and the only reason I didn't is because the concert was the night before. I wanted to sleep in, and I didn't want to drive 3 hours. But yeah, so I if there was something more fun to do, I would. Hopefully next year my team's in it.
I mean, as of 85, the performers was like the Air Force marching band.
Wait, what? Hold on. In 1985, the halftime show was the Air Force marching band. Now, okay, imagine if that was next year.
No, I'm just saying this is what
Halftime show
like
2017.
84
the
was
Air Force marching
Disney.
band.
84 was Disney. And then 86 Up with People. I don't know who the hell that is. 87 performers were George Burns, Mickey Rooney. Jesus, what fossils they had out there. But that was another Disney one.
Wait, George Burns?
Yeah. Smoking a cigarette. Nah, yeah.
What the fuck did he do?
And then you got 88, Chubby Checker and the Rockettes. Jesus.
So it kind of started getting.
Yeah,
more
now we've
uplifting.
got.
Well, what was? Let's just go through them. What was 89?
89 was Elvis was it an Elvis impersonator? That was the one where it was 3D. I remember that shit, but I don't remember Elvis Presto. Please tell me that was a fucking Elvis impersonator
Had
because
to have been. He died.
oh, it was that fucking no, but I'm just saying that they actually Elvis impersonator was the headline of the show.
Oh man, see now that kind of shit.
Now that shit I'm in. I'm all in 3D Elvis impersonator. Now that fucking rules.
What was the next one?
Let's see here. Marching bands in 90. So this is Louisiana Superdome.
Wow. So
Doug Kershaw. Wait, no, there's some country. Pete, Doug Kershaw, and three marching bands.
So we had marching bands. Like,
91 is where it all went to shit.
What happened? Michael Jackson?
New Kids on the Block and Disney characters. Boo. Okay.
That was fucking stupid.
92, Gloria Estefan. And now we're off and running now, you know. Now we got...
now Michael Jackson, right? 93?
93 was Michael Jackson.
Yep.
Was there. 94, Clint Black, Tanya Tucker, Travis Tritt, the judge. Jesus, where was that at? Texas? No, Georgia Dome.
Oh, yeah, that's why.
Well, you know. Well, look at 95. Theme. Indiana Jones and the Temple of the Forbidden Eye. That sounds like somebody's asshole, though.
Wait a minute. That was in 95?
That was the theme, yeah. Indiana Jones and the Temple of the Forbidden Eye. That sounds like that could have been last night with the gay sex thing going on. But the performers were Patti LaBelle, Teddy Pendergrass, Tony Bennett. What kind of Miami Sound Machine? What kind of hodgepodge?
Well, they were trying to find whoever does these halftime shows at that point were trying to like throw around ideas. And
96 was Diana Ross.
Okay.
Oh, fuck. 97, the Blues Brothers. And you know Belushi was dead by then, so it was Dan Aykroyd and John Goodman and James Belushi and ZZ Top. James Brown was there, so.
I think I kind of remember that.
And that's better. Damn, Super Bowl's in Louisiana a lot. 98, Salute to Motown. Oh, fuck. How many years have they done that?
Well, that was probably done in Memphis. Or
No, they did it that was in San Diego. They do
Detroit?
that. They used to do that. In San Diego, but they used to do that in Detroit like every year at the Thanksgiving game. But that was Boyz II Men, Smokey Robinson, Martha Reeves, The Temptations, Queen Latifah, and the Grambling State University Band.
Okay, now I'm starting to remember them.
Okay, here we got a good one. Which this still never made any fucking sense, but 99, and I remember this one for sure. Gloria Estefan, Stevie Wonder, Big Bad Voodoo Daddy, and Kiss.
Oh, that's right.
Now, how the fuck Kiss was... Never mind, I'm not even going to get into this angry that I have here. I think Kiss played the pregame, too, if I remember right.
That was in 2000, right?
That was 99,
Okay.
January 31st, 99. 2000.
Yeah, okay, that was
Are we really just going? I'm looking at Wikipedia and we're going through the fucking Super Bowl fucking
No, I
halftime
know.
show.
We're just kind of talking. That was the year my daughter was born. My daughter was born right after that one, so I remember that a lot.
Let's see here.
Well, you guys get the hint, man.
It's horseshit.
You guys get the hint, man. I mean, fucking, they'll never.
2000. Phil Collins, Christina Aguilera, Enrique Iglesias, Tony Braxton, and Edward James Olmos as a narrator.
Lame. All right, you guys get the hint though. You guys see what they do. It's fucking weird.
The year after it, and I'll be done. Aerosmith, NSYNC, Britney Spears, Mary J. Blige, and Nelly.
That was the year of the douchebag right there.
Oh, fuck.
What year was that? That was the year of the douchebag.
2001.
That's where everybody was a fucking Sublime fan. Everybody was bleaching their hair.
No,
in
that
Bakersfield.
was already after that. Should we do February 2002?
What was that one?
That was you too, because that was after September 11th.
Yeah, where he lifted up his jacket and he had the,
And,
fucking
the
American
names
flag.
flying down on the. Yeah, that was pretty cool. I'll give him that one.
Well, you got it. I mean, come on, man. Situation dictates. They got to have a good one.
I mean, it was kind of hard for me to boo that one as much as I wanted to or whatever. The U2 sucks, but you can't boo them in that one. But no, that one was cool. But
well, let's hope Metallica plays one at some point. I mean,
all right, keep holding your breath.
No, they'll play one. They will. I mean, come on, man. I think by playing the night before.
Can we really get really quick though too? Is you know what? Is some of these bands like Paul McCartney played in 2005. You know what the difference in Paul McCartney's performance was, and the Rolling Stones were a year after it, or the year after it. You know what the difference in those performances were? A little something called live music, where the band actually played. Not why do I really give a fuck about watching you do a performance of you lip syncing your own fucking record?
Oh, did that band Coldplay this year? Did they
Dude,
play?
everybody on there fucking, and then Prince was the year after that. So look, you had now.
Prince. Oh shit.
I'm all for this. You have Paul McCartney, the Rolling Stones, Prince, back to back, and I think Tom Petty was next.
Oh, that was
All
a good one.
real musicians. All real musicians.
Okay, so they've done good in the past.
Okay, then now I'm gonna piss people off. The one after that, Bruce Springsteen. Fuck off. The boss stinks. And the Who was after that. Jesus, they were rolling out fossils by now, aren't they?
Yeah, I'm starting to remember all. Okay, so I mean they've done good.
Oh, then it got shit. Then 2011, the Black Eyed Peas,
Oh,
Usher,
God.
and we had to be a little bit metal and Slash. But Fergie sang
That was a Super
Sweet
Bowl.
Child of Mine.
That was a Super Bowl. Okay, I came home on leave from Afghanistan to watch that. I remember.
That was a Super Bowl where I almost threw a beer through Preston Nash's television, which was my old television, big screen at the time, and it would have went through it. But it almost happened. When Slash came out with Fergie and they started doing Sweet Child of Mine, a beer almost flung through the television.
Oh, why do they do that, man? Like, it's not cool. I don't want to.
Then you had
right.
Madonna and all the rest of the shit you remember from 5 years ago. Who cares?
I mean, I don't know. I just think that it could get better, and don't put all these fucking messages in it. How about just everyone have a good time? You have everyone gather around, drinking, eating. You know,
Put on a spectacle then,
you know,
or
put on a
something.
spectacle. Don't
Not to
fucking-
mention it fucks the field up.
Yeah, dude, exactly. And don't put on all these fucking stupid messages, man. Just enjoy the time. People just want to have fun for one fucking day, dude. They don't want to deal with any kind of controversy or messages. They just want to watch some sports, eat some good food, get drunk, have a good time, go home and fuck. And that's what it's all about, right?
Yeah, so we can have more commercials.
All right,
Fuck,
man.
beat your wife, or eat pizza or avocados. That's what the Super Bowl is.
Go on Fandango and buy movie tickets. That's what it's all about, America. All right, man. Well, this was a good weekend. It was really cool. I had a blast. I think this week we're going to be interviewing probably tomorrow morning, actually, we're going to interview Tony, our sponsor at Wolf Creek Tattoo. He's done some work on me and stuff. He's a great guy helping. He's actually the one organizing this event coming up in April 2nd here in Bakersfield with Edema and Kings of Carnage. I think some other bands. I don't want to give too much away. But it's going to be a good show, and so he'll be coming on and talking about that and talking about his tattoo experience and everything wrapped up with that. Big kudos to everyone who came out again last week. We had a blast, and here's to a good week. I think we're going to be interviewing another band coming up soon, and then the Aviators. So stay tuned. Keep following us. Keep checking us out. We are on Facebook. Go look us up. Chadman and Randy Show. And then go on our website. It's up and running. ChadmanandRandyShow.com. There's no the in that. It's just ChadmanandRandyShow.com. All of our links to our show are on that, to our sponsors, to everything you need to know about us. Go check it out. Give us some hits and let us know what's going on. Got anything?
I'm out.
All right. For Chadman and Randy, out.